Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Well, one of the batches of my 3-berry black currant jelly did not set, so we're going to have to rebatch it. Once these cool down, they're supposed to be gelled. See how it's almost gelled, but not quite. It's still kind of liquidy. See, it's almost there. So we're going to just recook it, which means I'm probably going to end up with, instead of 6 half pints, I'm going to end up with probably 5.5 because we got to cook it down a bit more. But it's savable. Now, first things first, we've got to open all these jars. And some people will use these, and we got to empty them into this pot. See how it was starting to gel? Now, I want to make sure I get all of this out of the jar, so don't be afraid to use a spatula. Now some folks, if their jelly doesn't set, they'll just use it for syrup. We got enough syrup. So, the reason I haven't turned this on yet is because I have to rewash all these jars. See, this one's close. This one's real close. Well, actually that was pretty gelled. These were all from the first batch. The second batch gelled beautifully. These ones, not so much. Not so much. So it's not going to hurt to cook it down just a yay bit more. So when I've emptied all these jars, I'm going to wash them and I'm going to put them in a pot to boil. And while they're doing that, I'm going to cook this down again. Yeah, not gelled, just not quite enough. Okay, I've got my jars. Oh, I forgot to put my vinegar in. You know that? I've got my jars washed and back into some water here. A little bit of vinegar. Keep the jars from clouding. And all we're going to do is we're going to bring this back up to a boil and rebottle it, because obviously it was almost there, right? Like seriously, you can see that. But the real test is the spoon. See how that's sheeting? But it's lying. Because some jars were almost ready and some weren't quite. So we just want to bring it back up to a boil. Rebottle it. You may be tempted to bottle it because it is sheeting, but don't. Some of them were and some of them weren't. Tablecloth down here to set our hot jars on because you know what? I am not going to bath these, folks. You can if you want to do it for a few minutes, but like pickles, if these go hot into hot jars and it's at the gel stage, it will be fine. See, now that it's heating up, it's not sheeting. It's almost sheeting, but what was sheeting was the cool stuff that was already gelled. When you heat it back up, it doesn't sheet. It means it's not quite there. Alrighty. Okay. Now we're going to rebottle it. I'm going to keep one jar over here for the funnel, because that'll be the jar that ends up going in the fridge anyway. This is really hot, folks. Please be careful. Oh, that's still really hot. All right, so now we know. It should have been reduced a whole lot more. This is going in the fridge. Ouch. Ouch. This one's going in the fridge. This one's going in the fridge, and we'll be back in a couple of hours to see how they've done. Okay, now, as you can see, we've just about finished this little half jar just with a tasting, but I wanted to show you this. Now I'm using a fork. This is what your jelly is supposed to come out like. Isn't that beautiful? This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying whether it's 3-berry or just black currants, they make the best jelly. Take care. God bless.